Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
It's a strategy of slow and steady. Governor Gretchen Whitmer seeking to extend Michigan's state of emergency a little longer.
We are not out of the woods yet, but we are seeing signs that give us reason to be feeling optimistic. Cautiously, but optimistic nonetheless.
Now at noon, we're taking a closer look at her plans to stop the spread, as well as exploring why there's some contention brewing in Lansing. But first, we're following breaking news from right here in Metro Detroit, where a high-profile doctor is facing major Medicare fraud charges involving a purported treatment for COVID-19. Local 4 reported on an FBI raid at Allure Medical Spa's Shelby Township headquarters just last week. And Dr. Charles Mock is now charged with Medicare fraud in promoting and providing high-dose vitamin C infusions to prevent or treat COVID-19. He's also charged with numerous cases of fraud involving treatments for varicose veins, and that dates back to 2018. The charges also say Mock defied the Michigan governor's orders stopping all non-essential medical treatments. And now we want to get you updated on the very latest on the coronavirus fight here in Michigan as we take a look at a breakdown of our case count right now. And as of our last update, which was just yesterday afternoon, there were 92 confirmed deaths from COVID-19 within just a 24-hour period between Sunday and Monday afternoon. And in total, we've lost more than 3,400 people to the virus. Michigan now has more than 38,000 confirmed cases, and this is up 432 cases from Sunday. New updates have been coming at mid-afternoon, and we're going to bring them to you the moment that we get them, both on air and online at clickondetroit.com. The University of Washington now believes more people will die from the coronavirus than previously predicted. Its pandemic model now says the best estimated U.S. death toll from COVID-19 stands at 74,000. The model previously forecasted 60,000 Americans would die from the virus.
We see these protracted long peaks in some states. We're also seeing signs in the mobility data that people are getting more active, and that's also feeding into our assessment.
Dr. Murray says the new prediction would impact their recommendations for social distancing. Instead of pointing to mid-May as a possible goal to begin relaxing restrictions, they say that they are now looking at early June. In the meantime, if the pandemic is not over by the summer of 2021, the Tokyo Summer Games will be canceled. This is according to the organizing committee's president. And this is the strongest statement that the organization has issued with regards to a potential cancellation. The Olympics and Paralympic Games set to be held this summer in Tokyo have been rescheduled to start in July of 2021. And now closer to home, Detroit Police Chief James Craig paid a visit to officers this morning at the 8th Precinct on West McNichols. Chief Craig returned to work about 2 weeks ago after recovering from coronavirus. And also making headlines here at home, Governor Whitmer is asking the state legislature to extend her emergency declaration by almost a month. She says the state is making progress, but making too many changes too quickly could cause a setback. The State House and Senate are meeting to decide what happens next. And Rod Maloney joins us now live with that part of the story. Rod?
Yeah, Rod, the legislature in session today, the House not doing a whole lot, Senate talking a little bit more. They're going to be working pretty much in earnest tomorrow, and we'd be looking to take up the extension of the state of emergency that the governor is asking for another 28 days. But in order for allow that to happen, there has to be a bridging of a chasm here of speed in terms of reopening the state. And I've been told by sources in the legislature now about what it is that the legislature, the representatives, the leaders, and the governor talked about last night, and what it is that the Republicans want to see happen now in order to give her extension. The first thing they want to see resumed as soon as possible, like now, is the whole construction industry, indoor and outdoor. They want to see that moving right away. The majority leader said yesterday he didn't understand why she didn't allow for that last Friday. In the meantime, they also want to see non-emergency medical procedures resume, getting people back in to see their doctors, whether it's in a hospital or perhaps more in an office setting. And they also want to see a faster moving and more specific regional reopening plan. The governor yesterday rolled out a fairly extensive plan separating the state into 8 regions and trying to figure out ways to reopen that. They want to see that getting revved up as quickly as possible too. So let's hear from both the governor and the Senate Majority Leader about their positions in this situation.
There was demonstrated early on weeks ago best practices based on the risks of businesses, primarily on the size of the business and how much public access there was, that could have allowed a transition much sooner than now to allow more businesses than what are currently being allowed to operate.
We need to mitigate risk. We can't eliminate risk completely, but we need to get it down as low as we possibly can manage. And so being really thoughtful about what this looks like, this re-engagement, is important.
And so this afternoon, I'm told that the leadership and the governor will meet again to see if they can find a middle ground here that they can all agree with. And then we'll have to see what becomes of the legislative session tomorrow as to whether they want to go ahead with that extension of the state of emergency declaration. So for now, reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All righty, Ron, thank you for the update there. On the national front now, streets in many major U.S. cities are empty, but some states are reopening as there are now more than 988 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the U.S. and more than 56,000 Americans have died. This is according to a Johns Hopkins University database. In the meantime, the struggle to reopen states after weeks of social distancing measures is being bumped up to the federal level. Attorney General William Barr warned in a memo that while stay-at-home orders are, quote, necessary, the Justice Department could step in to fight policies that it feels go too far. This as a group of conservative lawmakers have announced the formation of the Save Our Country Task Force, which will push states to reopen for business quickly. And as Blaine Alexander reports, it's a debate that's playing out nationwide: public health versus economic survival.
From Montana and Oklahoma to Minnesota and Texas, more and more states are reopening for business. Nationwide, 14 governors have started to lift restrictions, though none of the states have met the White House guideline of 2 weeks of steady decline in COVID-19 cases. That's not stopping eager shoppers in Mississippi.
I said, I'll stay my distance, social distance, but I want to do a little shopping.
In Texas, the lights come on May 1st, starting with malls, movie theaters, and restaurants, but only at 25% occupancy.
We will put measures in place that will help businesses open while also containing the virus.
Tennessee restaurants in all but 6 counties can serve sit-down diners at half capacity. In Colorado, the stay-at-home requirement is now a recommendation, while in California, there's a local battle brewing over beaches.
We think all the beaches should be open.
With thousands flocking to the shores for a taste of the sun, the Newport City Council is now reconsidering the decision to open local beaches.
Those images are an example of what not to see. People, what not to do.
But not all states are back in business. In hard-hit Louisiana, the governor is extending the stay-at-home order, saying it's too early to reopen.
We just don't meet the criteria.
In Georgia, barbershops, salons, and dine-in restaurants, among others, are all free to operate despite widespread criticism from local leaders and even President Trump. And of course, another big question is, when will schools reopen? Well, in a call with governors, President Trump said that some schools could consider reopening before the end of the academic year. In Marietta, Georgia, I'm Blaine Alexander, NBC News.
All right, Blaine, thank you for that. Optimism about reopening the economy drove the stock market up this morning, but that optimism has faltered approaching the noon hour. As we take a live look for you this afternoon at the Dow Jones Industrials average right now, it started the day rising more than 300 points, but that big gain has since cut way back. Early on, investors were showing optimism about how individual states were reopening their economies, but the market turned downward when major tech stocks like Facebook, Amazon, and Apple all started trading lower. Locally, both General Motors and Ford are seeing their stocks trading lower today. And as always, clickondetroit.com, packed full of useful information to help get you through this crisis. It's all there on clickondetroit.com/coronavirus. Well, we do want to switch gears and talk about something that will put you in a good mood, and that is our forecast now and as we head into the weekend. Even though it's only Tuesday, Brandon, it's not too early in my book to start thinking about the weekend.
Get the vitamin D now. We've got a couple of days of rain ahead, Evrod, but we do have a beauty of a weekend for you. So it will be a great one. We want to get you set, though, with another great day. Yesterday we hit 63. We're almost there here at noon, a degree or two north and south of 60 degrees, 61 at Metro. It is 60 Ann Arbor, Monroe, 59 in Port Huron. Temperature on the way to about 67 degrees with a nice south wind, a little south-southeast zephyr, and we have a nice mix of sun and clouds, but we are anticipating isolated rain thunder showers coming in later tonight and through the overnight. Could get a little bit heavier there. You can see the system just off to our west. We will track the timing of it. Again, Evrod, a couple of days of rain ahead. How much to expect and the timing before we get to that beautiful weekend coming up.
Alrighty, Brandon, we'll be checking in with you shortly. Still to come here at noon. After weeks of lockdown, there is some encouraging news from overseas, but caution still there. After the break, we're going to examine the pandemic response on a global scale.